Before we even start this shit, nigga, I gotta put on this hat. That's how I'm feeling today. Make sure you get that. Make sure you get that. I'm feeling like a wise ass nigga today. Now, you may ask why. Yo, Baltimore. So many fucking things we know about Baltimore, and if y'all been on my channel for a long time, y'all know I made videos in Baltimore about Baltimore, the whereabouts and all that fun stuff. What's good, dummy? Like, what, yo? Why did Juski say it like that? If y'all niggas don't know who I am, bro, I'm Trezdonttrip, aka Trez. And today, we getting into some good reaction videos. Now, it's this channel called Trap University. They made a video called What Happened in Baltimore. So, like, I don't know if this is gonna be good or bad, but, you know, as a nigga from Baltimore, it's only right if I react to what niggas is saying about fucking Baltimore, dumbass. Make sure y'all niggas like, comment, subscribe on they dumbass. Stupid fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about, nigga?
Hey,
okay, we starting off with the ad. That's bad. Hold on, I ain't got my headphones on. Yeah, yo, subscribe so a nigga can stop watching ads. I'm not playing with y'all. I was dead serious about that too. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, bro. 500 on the way. We just passed. We had 228 at the time of the score. Y'all niggas are insane. Let's keep on. All right, what happened? Damn, that shit beating my vocals right now. Pause.
Considering what Baltimore became known for, it's ironic that not only did the city first make money producing addictive substances such as tobacco and sugar for the Caribbean colonies, so much so that Baltimore actually influenced the cultivation of sugarcane there. The city also established one of the oldest continuously running markets in the country.
Yo, oh my gosh, bro. Quick thing about Lexington Market, y'all niggas better not ever go there, bro. If you not from here and you go to Lexington, that's a setup. You getting robbed off the rip. I'm just letting you know. Go to Northeast. You might have a better chance there.
It was the U.S. first post office.
They're like in the
I don't know if I'm making this clear, but I'm talking about
but nobody
trade.
Niggas that live in Baltimore don't go to Lexington.
Baltimore, which means town of the big house.
Unless you're like
inspired more than just the Caribbean sugar plantations, though.
My fault. That's not the focus. I got you.
Which actually lasted until 1815, after being defeated in North Point, Maryland, after the British had burned Washington, D.C. to the ground pretty much. The Americans had to retreat to Baltimore inside Fort McHenry. And the fort resisted bombardment from the most powerful navy on earth at the time. I
did not like history, so this shit's going one and out the other.
British, in order to secure the release of an American doctor who had been taken prisoner by them, was not allowed to go back to shore in Maryland after the negotiations until the battle was finished because the British didn't trust him. So, from the Patapsco River, he was forced to watch for hours as bombs and heavy artillery bombarded the shore and the fort, only to wake up the next morning and find that the American flag was still there, waving proudly atop Fort McHenry. Once he returned to shore, he would begin writing the Star-Spangled Banner, obviously inspired by
prolific songwriter.
Although for some reason it took 116 years for the U.S. to officially adopt the song as its national anthem. And like many cities in America, Baltimore basically burned down in the 1800s and had to be rebuilt. And some people might try to attribute this to some conspiracy theory. It's important to remember that most of these cities,
most of the buildings were made out of wood though, so that shit was susceptible to fail.
Firefighting success was far from what it is today. Now, if you look at a map of Baltimore County, you'll notice a big chunk is missing. And that's because the city is actually separate from the county,
the city is
separate from the making it one of less than 50 independent cities in the United States. Now, why was this done? Probably so the city of Baltimore wouldn't have to share the revenue it makes from the port of Baltimore, which currently handles about $54 billion worth of commerce per year.
Damn, I didn't even know that, and I'm from here.
36 ports in America. And like Philly, some of Baltimore is filled with these row houses, which I can only see as a fire hazard. And despite being a coastal city, it's actually out.
Hey, don't knock them row houses, bro. We all gotta start somewhere, bro. It's like a community. Everybody works together. What does that mean? You live together, you breathe together, you shit together, you fuck together. Well, I don't know about the last one. You eat together, you know what I mean? Like, you go to school together. Nigga, don't knock the row homes, bro. I said firehouse. Fire hazard my nuts, nigga. That shit ain't real.
Outside of the coastal storm zone.
I mean, we do have a lot of potheads here, but like, come on now. Nobody trying to burn the whole fucking block down, but like, I mean, it definitely has happened. But like, you know, nobody really trying to do that. Let's keep going up.
Saving it from hurricanes, unlike some other cities on the East Coast. It's also much
warmer
than other East Coast cities in the area, like Boston and even New York, which gets very cold in the winter. with Baltimore actually being closer to the climate of a southern state like Alabama, which is crazy kinda considering where it is. Although flooding is a major problem here, and it might actually be getting worse. But despite the almost tropical summers, like
that's just because
the
niggas
city
keep
is
throwing
constantly
trash and
losing
shit in the fucking
population.
water
It hasn't
system,
seen a significant gain.
Like,
since
niggas are
1950.
actually slow by
I'm sure
choice.
The
That
Wire,
surprised me.
which is one of the most popular TV
Omar
shows of
coming,
all
Omar
time,
coming,
didn't help people
Omar
with the
coming.
perception
My
of the
fault.
city.
That's like a
Neither
Baltimore
did the
thing.
killing of Freddie Gray, which had a far worse impact on the city than most police brutality cases did in other cities. And this kind of attributed to the city's state attorney.
Death of Freddie Gray set off so much shit, bro.
State attorney since
I still remember
the city
niggas
of
robbing their
Baltimore,
own
separate from
CVS.
the
Like,
state,
bro, y'all
which has its
robbing
own
the
attorney
hood,
general
good
of
stores.
Maryland.
What the
Very
fuck
confused
is
with
wrong
American
with y'all?
politics. But anyway,
I get it,
when the
you
police
mad,
took
but
Freddie
like,
Gray,
now you mad
rough
and you don't
ride,
got,
which
and
in
you don't
turn
have
was
shit.
described
Like, you gotta
the type
choose
of
one.
police brutality, where the police cuff you and don't fasten your seatbelt.
Like, the police didn't make
Drive
CVS,
erratic,
nigga. Why are we
to look you up
attacking
in the back.
CVS? Why are
This
we
rider
attacking
is
these
Freddie
corner
being
stores and shit?
paralyzed and eventually dying from his injuries. And regardless of what he was being arrested for, this was obviously one of the worst instances of police brutality in recent American history. And all 6 officers involved were arrested and tried, though none faced legal consequences and were all either acquitted or had their charges dropped. But according to a former police reporter in
They all
the
got
city,
similar
this
head
sent a
shapes,
strong
even the
message
woman.
to the
It's
police.
like an egg. Damn, and the ad comes
Generate
up, bro.
meeting notes with AI.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect this is what the video were to be about. That's it. That's all I want to say in the ad. I thought it was gonna be like something funny. You know, this nigga's like that ass serious.
Arrest. And this made the Baltimore police more reluctant to even get out of their cars to make an arrest. While this might sound silly, as you think it would be pretty simple to avoid making the same mistake these officers did, arrests dropped by 40,000 from the previous year.
Damn.
Which in
So they
turn
turned the
led to a
blind eye
sharp
on
rise in
niggas.
homicides that only just declined starting in 2023. Almost
Turned
10
the
years
blind
later,
eye on they
which is kind of
dumbass.
unique since usually in
Which ain't
cases
good.
like this,
I'm
where
just
the
trying to,
police
like,
are
you know,
charged in
Baltimore turns
murder
and
but let go, there's
give
usually
up the
very
education.
little change, and the police usually keep up the status quo without much more fear of persecution than they had before. This is a very unknown fact about Baltimore and the rest of the country. Back when this happened, all I noticed were the protests and riots, but I didn't realize that this actually scared the police from doing their job for a while.
I didn't realize that either.
The mistakes
But
that
it
these
makes
cops
so
made
much
seemed
sense.
very avoidable, unlike other instances where it could be argued that a cop was in fear of his or her life or something like that. It was basically the equivalent of a police officer accidentally beating someone to death with a baton while just trying to rough them up. Very avoidable and probably very difficult to do, but it happened all the same. Good thing for the city though, homicides have continued to drop since 2023. And another unknown fact, at least for me, is that the rest of Maryland, including areas east of Baltimore, are actually some of the wealthiest counties per capita in the country.
Bro, white people. That's all it is. White people. Niggas ain't. One thing you know about niggas, niggas gonna get money and they're never gonna put it to the right use. Do you know how many fucking basketball courts around Baltimore that could use some revitalization that niggas have been saying for the last 50 fucking years? Nigga, I am 22 and these niggas have been saying this shit for the last 50 years, bro. Niggas don't see the vision, or niggas see the vision, but bro, I'm telling you, let the wrong niggas get money, bro. Niggas not worried about that. White people want one thing. White people gonna look out. They gonna look out. But niggas, bro, you cannot give niggas money. Why? Because look at Baltimore. You give niggas money, look what the fuck is going on around. Ain't much change. Just a nigga with money.
Maryland is actually the richest state in America when going by median household income. And just based on this being one of the oldest states, some of this has to be attributed to old money, with 5 people
like Owens
being
Mills.
among the 400 richest people in America.
It's like
including
Owens Mills
a couple
around,
billion-dollar heirs. But they're still obviously just a small portion of the overall wealth that lives in this state. And this is also a very common stereotype in the older states that were part of the original 13 colonies. And I'm sure a lot of the rich people in Maryland are completely...
Wait, Maryland was a part of the original 13 colonies? Don't fry me, I'm so serious. That was a serious
Most
question.
people, including myself,
Like I said, I don't like history much, so like don't get on my ass, please.
Maine or even Delaware. And of course, we got to get to the Baltimore accent.
We good. Got 60 left from so 1,400.
On the motherfucker back of the town, on the back of the snap, stupid. Yeah, what you talking about, yeah? Wait, hold on, bro. Why did I just snap like that?
Danny Ocean.
What?
I ain't got one.
Manny Machado designed these burger companies.
White people have Baltimore accents? Hold on, run that shit back, bro. One more time. Damn, I said I wasn't gonna pause. My fault. On the motherfucking snap of a snap, nigga. What is you talking
Manny
about?
Machado designed these burger companies.
So aggressive.
Danny Ocean. Danny Ocean.
American
Oh,
accents go all
Lord.
the way from the California people adding O's
That was my inner white side.
normally
Why did I
be,
just say that?
to the division between the Midwest, almost Canadian
Where
accent
is that
half
at?
of Chicago,
Nigga, where's
and
the Silver
South and
Bean?
West
That's
Side
just not
accents
here.
that are heavily influenced by the South.
I don't know what
since most
city that is,
people
but I
around
don't
there
got
have
that shit.
grandparents grandparents or great-grandparents.
And if we did,
from
that
the
should be
Southern
covered in
United
pigeon
States
shit.
to the well-known and often poorly mimicked New York accent.
And it would never be
That's
clean.
slightly different than the New Jersey accent, which would highly offend any New Jersey resident if you ever even insist that they sound in any way familiar to a New Yorker. The hardy, working class, and kind of rude sounding
they
Boston
neighbors, so
accent.
like, come
and
on
then,
now.
of course,
Y'all
you
gotta
have
learn to get along
Baltimore.
with each
My
other.
goodness. Talk about a distinct sounding people. Some people compare it to Philly, but there's a clear difference. Although they both seem to pronounce Baltimore kind of the same,
Baltimore.
either saying it as
Baltimore, yep.
with the D
Baltimore,
or the
nigga.
T, or just dropping the
Baltimore.
middle part of the word altogether.
Baltimore.
They take the U out of words like
Baltimore.
ambulance, rendering it to
Ambulance.
they often add
Ambulance.
an EU sound to words
EU.
like do or to, and other things which are very difficult for my Midwest
One,
brain to
two.
pronounce. It almost sounds British at times, like Cockney mixed with at least a general East Coast accent. And even that being said, it is still
we
by
don't
far
sound
the
British,
most foreign
nigga.
sounding
We don't
accent
sound
in
no
the
motherfucking
United
British,
States outside
nigga.
of Puerto
We
Rico,
sound
where
like
English
motherfucking
actually is
Baltimoreans,
only
nigga.
a second
Ain't no
language.
motherfucking
How did
British
this
on
even
the
happen?
motherfucking
This is
thing, yo.
definitely one
They
of the
on
most
fire,
unique
you
and
about
slept-on
fried
cities
shit.
in the country.
Dang,
Not to mention
you heard,
Baltimore is
yo.
older than the U.S. Constitution. Albany, New York is
Yeah.
actually the oldest East Coast city.
I gotta
outside
really
of
show
Canada,
my
by the way.
Baltimore ass in this
Baltimore
video.
is also probably the best place to get sick in the country, as Johns Hopkins, which is widely regarded as one of the greatest medical institutions on earth,
Oh,
sits right
damn, that
within
was
the
a crazy
Dunbar
hook.
Broadway
Those are the
neighborhood.
best place to get
All of
sick.
this showing
Like,
that
fuck.
Baltimore is so much more than crime and poverty. Also, the Indianapolis Colts went on their greatest championship run while they were still the Baltimore
Yep,
Colts.
the
in
Baltimore
pre-Super Bowl
Colts
era.
before they
And
became
have
the
still
Ravens in
yet to
96.
replicate this in Indiana.
That's D1 ball
and of course,
knowledge.
there's
I
the
don't really know
Ravens
shit
that brought
about
a
ball.
true Super Bowl banner just 4 years after being created.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not sure if y'all
crazy.
still do the crab races. That might be animal abuse, but I guess it doesn't matter considering that this one city might eat more crabs than anywhere else on earth.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
of
gonna
course,
lie.
I know
Niggas
some of
be
you wanna
fucking
hear
up crabs here. I
gangs,
don't eat
but
seafood,
like
though.
anyone in Baltimore would tell you, it's a complete mess out
Don't
there
like
as
crabs
far
got
as
shit
trying
in
to
it or
define
something?
gangs and cliques, even compared to the rest of the country. I know that MS-13 got hit with a RICO in the city, which is a joke when you consider that despite making up about 1%
I
of
said
the
niggas in like
population
Highlandtown.
in
Wait,
America,
I just
the
wait.
US
Hold on, no
designated
fed. I
as
don't know where those
first
niggas
group.
actually
Like,
at.
bro,
That was
have
actually.
you ever heard of the Satan
I assumed all the Hispanics they be in
They are the
Highlandtown.
only
That was
gang in
bad.
America
I'm sorry.
to be put on
Don't
the
listen to me.
T-word list. So I guess the city government in Baltimore, or any government, doesn't really care about the gangs either. But whatever. Baltimore has bigger things to worry about because they own to bigger and better things, as they have been since Lord Baltimore was given all this land.
Lord Baltimore,
Oh
Steve.
yeah, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but like a lot of states, this
The
area
big
was named
drop.
for a member of
The
the
biggest
British
drop.
nobility and kind of given to him to own. Pretty unfair. But then the revolution happened, and George Washington decided that we would just keep it. I wonder if Baltimore's descendants ever visited Maryland and looked around like, man, we used to own this. That's just how my brain works. I also like how some residents of the city call it Be More. That's hella inspirational. I'm gonna start doing an award in this series with the most inspirational things about a city, and by far, I think Be More is one of the greatest nicknames I've ever heard. Anyway, where are we going next?
Be
I've been
more
doing a
like,
lot of
bro,
research because I want to make
I
sure
think
I
a lot of
always have
niggas-
my facts straight, because I know
Wait, hold
people
on,
don't
let me
play
look
about
up
their
before I
city.
start going
But
there.
don't worry, I got y'all covered.
Nah,
See
you a real
next
ass
time.
nigga. I'm not gonna lie. Trap University, you just cook. I did not expect this nigga to actually teach me something. Hold on, let me make sure I like. Oh, I'm not subscribed. That's bad. Almost at 100K. He about to get there too. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect that nigga to actually like. When the drill first took over Chicago, yeah, your face is strong as fuck, yo. Chicago niggas got some of the strongest faces. My fault. That's not. Hold on. Let's read some of the comments though. The Baltimore hospitals are elite, especially in the treatment of cancer. Saved my mom's life. Aww. This channel is becoming cooler by the day. Okay. Glaze me. Baltimore native here. This is a great video, and I never knew the meaning of the name Baltimore. Wait, like you didn't know it came from Lord Baltimore? Wait, there was a meaning? Shit, damn, my brain is fried. I like how you shine light on the positive sides of cities instead of only talking about the bad. Yeah, I like that too. Yo, that's glaze, nigga. You got the Maryland flag as your fucking profile picture. I'm done reading this shit. Yo, Trap University. First of all, great fucking video. I did not expect this nigga to actually teach me stuff about Baltimore. I thought I was gonna come in here and like having to explain like the slang and shit. Bro, I dropped videos on talking about slang like 3 or 4 years ago on this channel. Y'all could find them. They're still up. Bro, this nigga actually taught me some shit about Baltimore. Was I listening most of the time? It depends. I don't really like history like that. Even in my history classes, I had a struggle of trying to grasp the concept of the Peace Treaty and the Treaty of Versailles and the War of 1812 and what Lord Baltimore did to William Paca so that Utah can have his place. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? You see what I mean? Like, bro, no. Great video, though. This is definitely a more interesting video that highlighted Baltimore in a different aspect from what you normally see. Like, you got the niggas with accents and you got violence. That's really what we're known for. I think even when I was recording my St. Louis video, I forgot if we were top 3. And I don't think it was the 1. No, I don't think it's the 3 or the 2. We might have been the 1, but don't quote me on that. DC, y'all don't have New Balances. We own them. Who else can I diss? We finna blow New Jersey up. I just wanted to say that, you know. Remember the last video, Chicago niggas? Y'all have a good night. Nigga.